Welcome to Volunteer Services here at OSF Healthcare St. Francis Medical Center. I am Laura Logan, the Manager of Volunteer Services. This presentation will provide you with information about St. Francis Medical Center's history and basic information you should be aware of before we onboard you as a volunteer. First, we want to thank you for your interest in pursuing volunteering here at OSF St. Francis Medical Center. By you donating your time, you help us meet the needs of our patients, families, and mission partners. We hope you take pride in the work you do and learn some takeaways along the way. So let's talk about who we are. At OSF, we see ourselves as a community of caregivers. You may hear the phrase mission partners instead of the term employees. Well, what does this mean? It means we are mission partners of the sisters, helping them carry out their work by helping those who are sick either directly or indirectly. Compassion, caring for persons. This is the reason our mission partners and volunteers serve. In healthcare, competence needs compassion as heart and energy. Caring for persons at a time of vulnerability goes right to the heart of what it means to be human. Next, we will talk about the three key components listed on the bullets on the slide here that shaped what is known today as OSF Healthcare St. Francis Medical Center. The teachings of Jesus as basis for the Christian tradition of healthcare, St. Francis of Assisi, and the Sisters of the Third Order of St. Francis. The teachings of Jesus: mutual respect, compassionate care for the sick, poor, and marginalized, love in action is at the core of the teaching of Jesus. Jesus loved to heal people, and he specifically sought to be with and heal those who were outcast or marginalized. The Christian Gospels tell of Jesus cleansing a man with leprosy. He gave sight to two people who were blind. He cured a woman who was hemorrhaging. Jesus not only attended to their physical afflictions, but he also cared about their overall well-being. He touched people at the deepest level of their existence and sought their physical, mental, and spiritual healing too. Catholic healthcare and OSF exist to continue Jesus' healing ministry. Christians believe that loving others is a way to love God, the Father. The Holy Spirit sustains this love. The Christian tradition understands there to be one God who is a unity of three persons, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Christians call this the relationship of persons in God, the Holy Trinity. St. Francis of Assisi. As a young man, Francis experienced a conversion to a life of gospel simplicity. His response to the gospel included an emphasis on reconciliation and his personal following of the poverty of Christ. Francis was surprised that other persons wanted to join him in his way of gospel living. St. Francis lived in medieval Italy in the town of Assisi. His father was a fairly well-off cloth merchant. Before his death, there were already hundreds of persons in his movement. That tradition continues today in Franciscan sisters, brothers, priests, and other laypersons. When you hear the term Franciscan, this refers to someone who follows St. Francis' way of following Jesus. Francis is loved in his devotion to peace and reconciliation and his love of the poor. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace is a favorite prayer of the Franciscan movement. You'll notice that the majority of OSF is a not-for-profit. One of the strategic priorities of the sisters is advocacy, which includes ensuring that all have access to health care. Lastly, our Sisters of the Third Order of St. Francis. Our Franciscan sisters are a part of the Franciscan family as an independent religious institute. Our sisters were founded in Herford, Germany, and were forced to immigrate to the United States in 1875 with 6 weeks' notice by Chancellor Bismarck. The sisters migrated to Iowa and later came to Peoria to beg at a German-speaking parish. The pastor asked them to stay and care for the sick poor of Peoria. In 1877, 9 sisters moved from Iowa to establish a new religious order in Peoria. The OSF we know was born then. This was the first OSF hospital. It was in Peoria on Adams Street. As you can imagine, being in the clinical field, if Joint Commission pulled up to this, they wouldn't even get out of their car. It was a humble place. The sisters slept in the attic. The garage on the left was their chapel. The sisters would physically carry patients from floor to floor. This is a photograph of Mother Mary Frances Crossie, the first major superior of our sisters. When she was on her deathbed, she told her sisters, "Nurse the sick with the greatest care and love, then God's blessing will be with you." This is the golden thread in the OSF story, linking us with the founding spirit, current service, and vision for the future. Now let's meet some of the sisters on the governing board. Top left, Sister Rose Teresa. Sister is the vocation director. She is Canadian and from the West. On the upper right is Sister Teresa Ann. Sister Teresa Ann is an assistant to the Major Superior. She's a native of Escanaba, Michigan. She is currently the only sister from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Sister was stationed in the Pastoral Care Department at OSF St. Anthony's in Rockford for years and is much loved. She continues to work closely with caregivers. The lower left, Sister Agnes Joseph. In her life before becoming a sister, she was the first woman to serve in the IT department at Firestone and later served in management there. She is now the director of formation for the sisters. She is the novice mistress and in charge of all those in formation until they make their final vows. In the center is Sister Judith Ann, who is the major superior of the sisters. She is the chairperson of all the OSF boards. And lastly, on the lower right is Sister Diana Marie. Her background is in finance. She currently serves as the president of OSF Healthcare System. You may just see one of these sisters while you're here volunteering, because they are often found sometimes walking through our hallways. Our sisters have established our mission statement, which is the essence of who we are here at OSF St. Francis Medical Center. As you may notice, a part of the mission statement encompasses the final words spoken by Mother Mary Frances Crossie. What are the benefits of volunteering? The number one benefit is a sense of purpose. It's priceless. You also have several opportunities to participate in healthcare special events. You do receive a free meal voucher worth up to $8 when you volunteer for over 4 hours. And also there's networking and socialization. As you join our team, it's important to start with the leadership structure. This is a dyad structure where you report to myself and to the leader in the area you volunteer in. It's important to keep both of us informed. Volunteer services, expectations, and daily procedures. Clocking in and out in Volgistics. Volgistic is a web-based software program we use in our office to compile each volunteer's profile. This same system is used to clock in and out. This also allows you to see how many hours you have volunteered. Personal belonging. We ask you to please minimize bringing any personal belongings, but we do have locked drawers here in the volunteer services office for keys and purses. Maintain role and boundaries. Maintain role and boundaries even if you have worked in the medical field before. Your role is different now, and you must remain in the scope of a volunteer. One might ask, what do you mean? If you are a retired nurse, you cannot counsel patients about medications or education. That needs to be left up to the current nurse. Expect to give your best service and high-quality interaction with others. We want you to give 100% each time you are here. You represent the hospital. Meals and breaks. We do allow volunteers, like I said before, a meal voucher to be used at either Don's Bistro, Subway, or the cafeteria if they volunteer for 4 hours or more. Please make sure that breaks do not exceed 15 or more minutes. Once you have completed all the requirements to become a volunteer, your annual requirements will seem like a breeze. We retest on competencies that we expect all volunteers to know. In addition, we ask our volunteers to get a flu shot. You can decline, but you must wear a mask when you are within 6 feet of a person during the flu season. We never know how long flu season will last, but it's usually anywhere between 4 to 5 months. Dress code. Each volunteer is supplied with a polo or smock jacket of your choosing. Here are some other things to think about before your first day. We don't allow jeans or shorts or sandals. Make sure your jewelry is small and won't interfere with your work. Making sure that your tattoos are covered if they're visible. Scents, as far as cologne, perfume, scented lotion, must be used in moderation, as these scents may be bothersome to patients. We are a smoke-free campus, so if you do smoke, please be aware of lingering smells if you smoke, and if that's on your clothing, it could affect how the patient feels. And gum chewing, please be respectful and avoid or limit the gum chewing, particularly in patient care areas. So what should I wear? This slide just reinforces the dress code we just discussed and is a great visual of how a typical volunteer will be dressed. This slide has all the pictures of items that are against our dress code. Sleeveless top, high heels, jeans, sweatpants, flip-flops, midriff showing, and short skirts. Cell phones. We all have them, but I ask that you be respectful and attentive while you volunteer by following these bullet points listed here. Just make sure it's limited to lunch and breaks. It's out of visualization by patients or staff. Limit the amount of text messaging you do. And just remember as well, we do have a social media policy that prevents you from posting pictures on patients and that kind of thing as far as what their reason for being in the hospital. Computer use. Not all volunteer assignments need computer access, but if you do, make sure you use it appropriately. Assignments. They do vary based on the medical center's needs. They are selected at your interview in a mutual discussion with the manager and the volunteer. If you need to discuss your current assignment, please reach out to the assistants or the manager. We do ask that you at least try the area that you are selected to go to for at least a month before requesting a change. Attendance, as you know, is very important. We expect every volunteer to meet the minimum requirement. We also understand we have various groups of volunteers ranging from college students, snowbirds, and moms who stay at home. As it states on the slide, we will put a volunteer on a leave of absence if he or she is going to be absent for 4 weeks or greater. There are also times when someone may be sick. Let's look at the next slide on what a volunteer should do in this instance. When calling off, there's 2 things you need to do. The first thing you need to do is to make sure that you contact us. By contacting us, you're going to be notifying the area that you volunteer in, and you're also going to notify the volunteer services office as well when you are not going to be in. As we noted below here, you can either contact via phone or email. Our emails will be on the last slide of this presentation, or our phone numbers are listed here and will also be listed on the last slide as well if you need to contact us. Campus parking. If you will be driving here to OSF Healthcare St. Francis Medical Center, then you will need a parking pass. Here are examples of what the parking pass looks like, and will be given to you before you start. The one on the left is for our adult volunteers that are here year-round, and the one on the right is for our summer volunteers that are only here during the summer. For those of you new to St. Francis Medical Center, this map may be a little overwhelming. The area in the highlighted red oval is where the adult volunteers can park that have the parking pass shown previous slide. If you are a summer volunteer only coming for 9 weeks, you will be utilizing the blue off-campus parking lots. There is a shuttle that will take you to the front entrance of the medical center and take you back at the end of your shift. That location is designated by the star located in front of the milestone building on the map. The shuttle operates between 4:45 a.m. and 12:10 a.m. Monday through Friday. If you are a weekend volunteer, please park in Medi Park 3, which is MP3, on weekends and holidays. In order to access the Medi Park 3, you can access that off of Glen Oak Avenue. Wayfinding. Have you noticed the signage around here? Think it looks like an airport? Each area of the medical center is a zone. This is the way in which we should be directing patients and family. It is okay to use milestone or Gerlach building name, but include zone number as well. Ideally, we could explain the way and also take them there. When we all speak the same language, it reduces confusion and frustration. Our patients and families are already stressed, so help them out. Our next slide explains the zone system to determine where you will send our patients and visitors. The zone system utilizes a room numbering system. Hospitals currently divided into zones 0 through 9. All patient rooms, zones 0 through 8, are 4-digit. Zone 9 rooms are only 3 digits. Using the zone system when providing directions. As you can see with the graphic on the right, there is 4 numbers. The first number explains the floor, the second number explains the zone, and the last 2 digits are the actual room number. This is the front side of a map that can be found in various locations in and around the hospital center. You can see that various zones are listed as well as common destinations. These are all examples of signs that utilize the zone system. Signs are intended to let you know where you are and the direction to other zones throughout the campus. Notice that all these signs are based on the zone system, so when you are helping directing patients and families. You can also be looking overhead and on the walls. Improved campus wayfinding is an integral part of the patient and family experience. Thus, we have several volunteer assignments that consist of wayfinding to help our patients and visitors find their way. I hope this doesn't happen, but if it was, I would want all volunteers to know what to do. If at any time that you suspect abuse, we want to make sure that you immediately tell the charge nurse on the floor or one of us in volunteer services right away. This could be a situation where a patient may confide in a volunteer, and we want to make sure that you know to tell someone right away. Again, this is not typical, but needs to be mentioned nonetheless. Are you ready? The next steps are listed here in the bullet points here, so please view the other video links and attachments. You will need to complete the online test. You need a passing grade of 80% or better to pass. Expect a call from our office for an interview once you have completed everything. And lastly, prepare to make a difference to every patient, every time. If you still have any more questions after reviewing this presentation, please reach out to any of us on the slide.